Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I got the bookmark molds back out. A lot of you wanted me to do some more to give you more ideas. A lot of you are new to resin and you are working on bookmarks. So I'm going to do 4 different styles. I've mixed up some resin, not all of it because I don't want to be rushed. So I'm going to do a small and a large in 4 different styles. So instead of explaining everything I'm going to do, I'm just going to start working on them. Now I did put this through the vacuum chamber, but being in a paper cup, not all the bubbles came out. 2 of them I'm going to pour clear right now, just so I don't not keep enough resin to do these 2. And then I'm going to work on these 2 first and mix up some color. So just hang in there with me and I'll explain what I'm doing as we go. I'm just going to get these spread. This is my casting resin, so you should have about 40 to 50 minutes of work time. But I don't want to be rushed, so that's why I only did half, kind of half, probably more than half. I'm not sure. Each one of these holds, the big one holds about ½ ounce. Little one a little less than that, of course. Just make sure you go around and get all your bubbles off these edges, especially if you could see them. Because if you top coat with UV resin, that UV resin is going to drain right out of there. There's a little piece of blue glitter I don't want in there. And then the same for this one. But like I said, I will come back to these 2. So for these 2, I'm going to mix up a little bit of mica powder, 1 in pink and 1 in black. And I'm going to mix up a little bit of my silver bells, which is a silver foil flake, which I'm going to use in these 2 as well. So let's just jump right in and you will see what I'm doing as I go. Just a little bit of powder. Hopefully I don't get it everywhere. And the first 2, I'm going to put some names on there. So these, I'm going for a very classy look. If you don't have a Cricut to put names on anything, you can buy pre-made letters at Michael's or Hobby Lobby in the sticker section and do it that way too. So you don't have to have a Cricut, especially if it's just names. All you need are the letters. So that's a good option if you don't want to go crazy and start buying Cricuts and vinyl and all that. I happen to have the Cricut, so that's what I'm going to be using. All right, that one is pink. I'm going to use, they're both made by Let's Resin. This one's called black. And then, like I said, we'll do some foil flakes. The second 2, I will be doing some dried flowers, pressed flowers, I should say. Some of them are pressed. Actually, I pulled out 2 different flowers. I bought these teeny tiny flowers for my little character people in case I needed 3D flowers, but they're so super tiny that I thought I would try them in a bookmark. All right, that's the black. Now I need this, which I don't want a ton, but I do want enough to see it. That's pretty good. I don't mind the clear behind it. I don't want to pack it full of glitter. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me grab my spray bottle. Throw some alcohol in them. Whoops. I'm going to pour my mica powder in most of it. And my silver and clear at the top. And then fill it up with the rest. and it should stay separated. I don't mind it combining a little bit. So that was a perfect amount. So I'm going to do that with the black, and we'll see what two different colors look like. And hopefully they kind of merge where those colors come together. That looks pretty good. Let me just set these two aside, and maybe I will make them merge a little bit. Just so it's not like a hard line there. That looks good. All right, so with this, I do want a little bit more of the silver bells in here for the flower ones. And all I'm going to do on these, first I think what I'll do is put my flowers in. Now the one I know I'm going to use some of these, and I might have to trim them down as I go. Hopefully they will fit in there pretty good. And I will be top coating everything in UV resin. That's what makes your, if you didn't see the last video, I recommend you go see that one, especially if you're a beginner. I will link it at the end of this video for you, but that UV resin really stiffens these up immediately. If you don't do that, then you can take up to like 30 days to get these to get hard enough to use as a bookmark so they're not bending. So these two, I'm just gonna, I don't know, make it up as I go. I don't really have a plan. I never have a plan for flowers because I'm not a great florist. Most of the time they come out pretty decent, but you just don't know. And what I was going to do with the rest of the silver bells was put it in these negative spaces. That looks good. What do you think? Enough? Then I was just gonna take this just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. And let that float where it wants to float. I'm just gonna randomly mix it so it doesn't look like drips. That'll be pretty, I think. I don't know if I've ever made bookmarks with flowers in them before, but I like it. All right, let me move that out of the way. Get that out. So I have these, which are super duper tiny. I also have some of these that I've never used, and they are the same kind of colors. So I thought I might put some of these in the brighter colors that go with the other flowers. And then put the little flowers around it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. These come with tweezers, which did come in handy. See, now I'm not sure these are going to work because they are not exactly. I'm probably going to have to definitely put a good top coat on. I'm trying to find the flattest ones I could find. And then put some of the sparkle. Let me find an orange one. Huh, look at that, rainbow colors. I didn't even try it. I didn't even try to do that on purpose. That's so funny. Hopefully I can get these under where they're not going to be quite so high. Let me see if I could find a little tiny one. And then I'm going to, here and there, put this in there. And I am gonna have to flood coat, not flood coat, but like dome this one pretty well just to get some resin over them. It might work. We'll find out on the end. I'm not sure about this yellow one. It might be a little too thick. So this bookmark will probably be on the thicker side. Trying to mix up that silver bells in there a little better. And then when I top coat it in UV resin, that might be good. I'll move these out of the way. And I still have some left. Actually, I probably have enough to do the next set, which I didn't get out yet. Got black mica powder in there. Let me grab the stuff for these two. So for these two, I picked two glitters, Mermaid Kisses and Tropical Oasis, and I'm just going to color coordinate an alcohol ink to the glitter, which I forgot to grab the alcohol inks. Actually, this one might be good. Ocean Green. I'm just going to do a couple drops. I don't want it too potent. That's not going to be potent enough. Trying not to incorporate bubbles. I need a few more drops. And this one is not as green as I thought it was going to be. So what I wanted to do was just have a nice transparent bookmark with a coordinating glitter inside of it. I don't know if I have enough to do both. I'm going to need the rest of this. So I'm just going to combine the two together. I thought I had enough for both of them, but I don't. So I'm going to just add a bunch more alcohol ink to this, because I do want a little bit more color than I have at the moment. Got a little flower in there, get it out. So whatever I need, I'm just going to, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, I just got it like halfway. I'm just going to try to mix that alcohol ink in here. Try to keep bubbles off the sides. And then I'm going to take the corresponding glitter, which in this case is the Tropical Oasis. Dump it in here. Nice and thick. I love this one under resin. And I'm just gonna, not the whole thing, but like gradient it up. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like that. And then if it floats anywhere, of course I have too much, spray it with alcohol, pop the bubbles. And now let me get some more resin mixed up and we'll do it to the other one. For this next one, Mermaid Kisses, I picked blue alcohol ink. I did not remove the bubbles from this batch, so hopefully it doesn't give me a problem. I'm hoping they rise and I can just pop them, seeing that it's so thin. Otherwise, I'll throw the cup that I have left into my vacuum chamber for a minute or so. Let me see what happens on this one. So again, I'm just gonna fill it halfway, then mix my glitter in, and then do the same thing. That's not too bad. Let me mix some glitter into here. Hopefully this color goes well together. I'm trying to get the glitter nice and thick so it stays where I want it. This is my own custom mix. I do have tons of glitters on my eBay store. Let me just try to coax it the same kind of way. I am making some keychains out of the leftover because this is so pretty. And I'm just going to spray it with alcohol and hopefully all these bubbles rise. So for the last two, I'm going to get a little bit fancier and we're going to do a beach scene. So I'm just going to split a couple different colors, two blues or a blue and a green. I don't know, we'll see what I think two blues. A little bit of sand. I'm going to save some clear. And I think I'm going to try a bubble effect on the top after the fact. So I'm just going to mix up, this one is blue, and then I'm going to mix up midnight blue for the darker portion of the water. Just get it to whatever shade you like. That's pretty. Hang on guys, I gotta clean my stick here. I got both ends wet. I'm gonna try the bubble technique on the waves later after we demold it. So if you've never seen that before, stick around, you're gonna wanna see that. And you use UV resin and some dish soap. If it works or not on a bookmark, I don't know, we'll find out. Okay, there's a dark blue. And for my sand, I have these golden glass pieces, which I mix up too much resin for these glass pieces. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to use too many and make something else out of them, because I definitely don't need this much. This is gonna be the bottom. So I'm just gonna pour the sand in as high as you would want it. However, it doesn't matter. Probably like that. Of course, I knew I was gonna have extra. And then I'm going to pour in, oops, I want some clear first. A little bit of clear, barrier between the sand and the blues. The blue will merge with it, but that's okay. Blue, light blue, I should say. And then dark blue. And I'll probably like mix them together so they don't have a hard line like that. I'm gonna have plenty leftovers. So I'm just gonna combine them a little bit. And they may combine on their own, but I don't want to take the chance. Depending on, maybe I won't touch these with some waves. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what they look like when we're done. But I kind of want to try that technique, so I haven't done it for bubbles yet. I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. Just do it till you're happy. And I think I'm happy. All right, I'm going to find something to do with all these extras. And we'll see you on demold. Everything's ready to unmold. I have some extras here as well. These were from the 2 glitters. And then I had enough, which was shocking, of the beach ones. So I did 2 keychains, 2 pendants, and 1 pair of earrings. And, well, either side, whatever side you think is good, can be up or down. Here's it behind white, so you could actually see what I'm looking at. And I'll just take all these out and we'll set them on here. Pick a side which is going to be the best, and I will finish these. I think the front side's probably the best. They need trimming, they need filling, I'm not going to do the waves on these ones. I may do them on these just to show you what I was talking about. Here's the keychains. And they will look much better top coated in resin. And I'm going to use my UV resin. Let me get these out of the way. I have cut out names. I have 1 saying cut out. And we're going to start there. So here's the pink one. And again, these are flexible. And they will be flexible for a very, very long time. Unless you top coat them. It seems UV resin gets harder than epoxy resin. So I'm just going to pick the nicest side and put my name's going on one. My friend Maria's name is going on the other because she loves black and white. So this one will be for her. So I cut out our names. Here's the beach ones. These are getting so worn. I need new ones pretty badly, but I don't make them that often, but maybe I'll start. So these ended up being concave because I turned my heat mat on. So they do need to be filled front and back. Here's the other one. This one definitely needs a top coat because this flower is sticking out, but that is really pretty. These are in purple. I know it looks black in the camera, but these are dark purple, like plum colors. So that's really pretty. Here is the other little ones. And then this one, I did not use a Let's Resin brand alcohol ink, and it completely, all the color is gone from my alcohol ink. So when I top coat this one, I don't know if I'm going to add color or not because this was one of the ones I was going to add something on. So maybe I'm just going to end up leaving it like this. I don't know. I don't want the color to cover over my lettering. Wow, this one is really stuck. I didn't even use a torch. Don't torch these things. These are way too thin to be torching anything. For some reason, this is really, really stuck on. And here's that one, really pretty. And I do have tassels that would go on. So I do, because they are concave, if you have newer molds, they won't do that. So I'm gonna end up having to do top and bottom. So they will be extra stiff. All right, so for the first one, you just pick which side you like. I don't know, I kind of like that swirly side. I did swirl it at the end, see what it would look like. But I like the silver on this side better. So I'm going to put my name on here. So I cut it out on my Cricut in gold. And I'm just going to place it on here as evenly as possible before we top coat. I guess I should have done silver. I didn't even think of that. It's too late now. I don't know why I was thinking gold, but it's gold now. I'm going to go with it because that's what I already have cut out. I was just not thinking. Thank God it's just for me and Maria. There's hers. Yeah, that was a stupid mistake. And then this one, just checking to see what side I like better. I guess this side. Oh, I didn't take the backing off. This one says just one more chapter. Let me get... And this was a really hard font to weed. It was not fun. There we go. And if I covered this with green, it's going to put green over my gold. So I think I'm just going to stick with clear. Unfortunately, I lost my green. So use a good brand alcohol ink because these are not very thin or thick. There we go. Can you see it? Probably not. And I'm going to save these two for last so we can get to those. So I'm just going to grab my UV resin, some gloves, and everything I need, and we will get started. So what you want to do is either file your edges that might be sharp or that need trimmed. File them nicely so nobody's cutting their hands, because you can cut yourself. And then you're going to clean them all off, alcohol. And then we will top coat them. I'll just do one with you because this will take me quite a while to do them all. But I'll put you on a fast forward so you can see kind of what I'm doing here. So take a UV resin that you're comfortable with. I'm using clear hard type, this one here. You can also use a high viscosity, kind of like this one here, which is much thicker and it won't go over your edges. If you're new to top coating, then I recommend using high viscosity. That just means it's thicker. And I see I missed the R. Let me weed this R real quick. There we go. I'm really upset that I didn't, I'm being lazy. It's not like I can't do it, but it's just me and Maria. So we're gonna stick with the gold. But if these were for an order, I would definitely not keep the gold on there unless I had the gold flake. So you're just gonna take your resin, put a nice line down the center. And the way I do mine is I have one thing in each hand. I use a scribe. You could use whatever tool you want. I hold it with one of them and I drag the rest to the edge. And like I said, with the high viscosity, it'll work a lot better and it won't go over the side. And you'll know if you need more. It'll just pull away from the sides if you don't have enough. And then the way I do it, I'll just get it cured good enough where it's not going to move. Grab the next one and keep stacking them in there. And they just cure the entire time until I can't fit any more on there. This is just to pop bubbles that I might not be able to see. And then I'm just going to, about a minute or so, I'm going to let it just get hard where it's not going to come off the side. I'm going to grab me another one and continue just leaving them in there and pushing them back. That way they're curing constantly until all of them are done except these two beach ones. So I will do this in fast forward for you. Let me catch you up to where I'm at. So I've been working for probably an hour on these now. I have the 2 keychains are finished. I put a tassel and a dragonfly on one, and a fish and a couple fish, a charm and a tassel on the other. So those 2 are done. This one needed 2 coats. Now, these are bending a little bit from the UV resin. So what you do when you're completely done, when I'm done with all of them, I'm gonna lay them on my heat mat. I'm gonna turn my heat mat on low, place like a paper towel or something over them so they don't scratch, put a book on them and like a weight or something, heat them up for maybe 10 minutes, turn the heat mat off and just let them cool down for an hour or 2 and they will be completely straight. So they do bend a little bit from the UV light. So these are hard the way they are. So I do have to heat them up, but look at how pretty these came out. And I put a tassel on each of them. Can you see? So pretty. This one is gorgeous. I'm messing around with what I'm gonna do next. So I'm waiting for the light to come off. Here's the blue one. Here is Maria's. I found one last silver tassel to give her. Whoops, we'll put it this way. I'm still kind of upset at myself for using gold, but she will understand, even though she's not a gold lover. Here's mine. I put a pink tassel on. And this is really pretty. The plum color. I wish you could see it in person. It is purple. Dark, dark, deep purple. So that came out pretty. I think I have one more in here. Yes. This one is just about done. I did have to do both sides on this one because I kind of screwed up the back. I touched it before it was done and I couldn't get the thing up. Let me grab a tassel for this one. Let's see what we got here. Green. That's not the perfect color, but we're gonna go with it. So you just stick the tassel in and knot it through, and that's it. Yeah, that goes pretty good with it, I guess. If you could see it on a white background, it goes pretty good with it. So that is that one. So what I'm doing, I'm testing one piece before I bring it to you. Check out the bubbles. So this is the dish soap technique. So this one's done. This is UV resin in this little cup. All I did was drip my UV resin in here, and there's probably 5 drops of this pinata color white alcohol ink. Mix it up really well. In this little jar, I have water and dish soap, and all I did, I put the lid on. It's just water and dish soap, and it's filling. I just shook it up like this really well, and it made all these little bubbles. See all those bubbles? And they've been staying for quite a while. All I'm doing, I have a small little spoon, and here I'll take the next one. So all I'm doing is taking this UV resin, scooping a little bit out where I want the wave. I hope you could see this. I'm going to try to zoom in as best as I can. Take the UV resin and just put it where you want your wave, whether it's wavy or not, straight, it doesn't matter. However you want your wave. That's all I'm going to do with that. I'm going to take my little spoonful of of bubbles, and I'm going to lay it right on top of that UV resin. Turn the light on quickly and let it cure. It's going to pop a lot of the bubbles, but it's curing your bubbles through those bubbles. It's curing your waves through those bubbles. So as soon as this is cured, I'll show you. And I'm just testing it. Yep, it's cured, and all of my bubbles ended up popping. So there's it that way. And then all you're going to do, I like this one better than the first. So practice on some pieces. I didn't do them on my bookmarks yet. Then all I'm going to do is do the exact same thing I already did with everything else is just top coat it with UV resin and cure it again and seal all those bubbles in, because they are pretty rough on your fingers. You don't want to leave them like that. They are three-dimensional bubbles until you're done with your top coat. And that is how I'm going to do all of these. So I will put you on another fast forward as I do them one at a time. Maybe I'll do one of these with you. I need to fill the back of this one before I do anything. It is concave and so is this one. So let me fill the backs of these and then I'll come back. All right, are you ready? Here we go with a bookmark. I'm just gonna paint some on. Kind of a random on purpose, I guess. Grab some bubbles. Try not to get any water. And pop her under the oven and let it cure. And I'll do this one up here while I'm waiting for that one. Same thing. Grab me some bubbles. And stick it in. I might as well do a few of these while you're watching. Let me wipe this side off. Make sure you clean it. Even though I'm going to back coat it, I'm just wiping it with alcohol. This one has a lot of gold on the back, so I'm not sure what this one's going to look like. We'll do this side. Whoops. Maybe I'll do this side. And these bubbles are lasting a long time, which is not normal. Probably because they're really tiny bubbles. And then I have two, let's turn that back on, two earrings. Do that side. And that side. And then you're going to want to top coat everything. So this is not something that takes a couple of minutes. You're going to need some time. And then more bubbles. My bubbles lasted me for everything I needed. That. All right, I'm just going to top coat everything and we'll come back when I'm done. All right, my friends, this will conclude today's episode of Glitz and Glitter. So I finished these earrings, two pendants. Here's the keychain. I put a little fish charm on. These were tricky to top coat. One succumbed to my mistakes and did not make it, one keychain, so I had to get rid of one of them. I tried to keep saving it, and by the time I saved, the thing was so thick with resin, I'm like, nope, I can't do that. So I did not do one, because be careful when you do the bubbles. If you put too much of the white resin on, it will be very 3D, and when you overlap it with your UV resin, it will be hard. Some of them took 2 coats to do. They look beautiful. I mean, I love them. But they did take 2 coats so they're a little thicker than normal, which is fine. I don't mind them. Some people mind thick ones. I don't mind thick ones, but these are the beach ones. You can put a saying on them if you want to. I did not do that on these. Everything else is finished and complete. I think I showed you everything else, so stick around for the final pictures. You'll get one more look at everything. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. You have a blessed day, everyone. Bye.